The Confessions of St. Augustine, a 21st century working 9 to 5 in 79. If we knew the future, we might find the present more bearable. The starving artist has to make a living. Those who can, do. Those who can't, teach. George Bernard Shaw. Monday morning, Lord. Yeah, that's where it starts, right there, when that alarm clock goes off. And you feel like you can hardly make it out of bed. I mean, getting up before the sun's even up, staggering into that bathroom, flicking on that interrogation lamp, and then just standing there in those baggy PJs, squinting into that mirror. Yeah, and I suppose I should have gotten back to you sooner here before I went to seed, but like everyone else, you keep waiting for something to happen. Local boy makes good, or something, so that I'd have something to tell you instead of, I feel like I can hardly make it out of bed and drive into that school and teach those kids. Yeah, Mondays. Like one of these days, I'm just going to sit there and let them all run wild, and I'm not going to care. Yeah. Like it's an effort to even get up from the breakfast table. Yeah, another day, another dollar, another cup of coffee, but that only wakes you up. And a class full of juvenile delinquents. Who wants to be awake? So it's off and running. Driving, blaring some oldies but goodies, same sights year after year, billboards, neon signs. Could be 1,000 different cities across America at 7 in the morning. Empty parking lots, empty stores, drive-in restaurants, used car lots, daybreak, but no sun. Just the silhouette of all those buildings and signs and cars, backing up more and more, jockeying for position, trying to beat the next guy, the next light, beeping, and oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Then the traffic stops altogether, and sometimes you just want to get off. Yeah. Which I suppose is the way we all feel, I guess. Unique, destined for better things, but somehow stuck in a job where our full potential will never be used. Teaching? Hardly. Students? Forget it. Just a comedy hour where who gets the bigger laughs, kids or the teach. Yeah, and forget about daydreaming about all those beautiful plains and mountains you used to roam, too. Yeah, try and make them see all that and see what you get for your trouble. A spaced out look and, hey man, I hear Grand Tetons means big tits. Yeah, unless you can come up with something even worse, like, how would you know, you moron? You've never been close to either. Yeah, class clown, just in order to survive. Man, how I hate it sometimes. I mean, I always pictured by this time I'd be doing something a little more ennobling. I mean, like being a minister or something. You know, like driving out to Walnut Grove, to the Widow Jones place or something. You know, a cozy little ranch house way out. And inside, she'd have warm tea and we'd talk. She of her late husband, me of comforting words from the Bible. Words that would really make the difference. It'd all be so comfortable, wouldn't it? Yeah, warm tea, cozy fire, stimulating conversation, with the nice dreamy little ride back to town to look forward to, and the light snow, and oh, how nice it could have been. Like something out of a 40s movie, wouldn't it? I'd be Spencer Tracy, and she was Ethel Barrymore, and life was always mellow, never tense or anxious. Not a room full of sneering teenagers who lie in wait like vultures for the first sign of weakness. Not being fussy, any will do. You sneeze and you gotta come up with something cool, or else you've lost control again. You say the wrong word, you gotta make a joke out of it that better be funny. You drop something by mistake, another joke. Jeez, how I hate jokes sometimes. And forget about having your fly down, so you're forever slipping a casual finger over the top of your zipper just in case this is your day. And maybe it's already halfway down as your hands are flapping away in your previously very tight pants pockets, speeding that malicious little safety latch ever faster on its way to your demise, yes? Flies and flatulence, the real showstoppers. So I blare those oldies but goodies, I don't care. 60s, 50s, 40s, I don't care. Just want to hear some old songs when there was still some order in the world, instead of a bunch of weak-kneed administrators and teachers babysitting a bunch of delinquents who still can't even read or write in the 12th grade. And what have we become? What kind of a world? I mean, crime is rampant in the streets, rapists and murderers get off scot-free, and we do nothing about it. Oh, so blare on, numb me, I don't care. What's good news when I'm falling asleep anyway? Not telling me anything I haven't heard 1,000 times over. World's going to hell. Yeah, I heard that. Just a matter of time. What difference do the details make? Another assassination attempt, so what's new? Yeah, the bomb's due any minute now, too. I've known that since I was a kid, too. Yeah, it's going to take a lot more than that to wake me with a line of cars 2 miles long. I mean, this line's become a parking lot. I mean, look at him out there. It must be 3 miles long by now as this easy rider just sails by on his chopper to complete my morning with some tall, lithe young thing on the back. Yeah. And yeah, that wakes you up. While your wife's pushing 150, or is it 60? Nah, forget it. If I could only get a Jerry Lee Lewis or a Chuck Berry. Anyway, these motorcycle dudes are never what they appear to be anyway, so why spoil it? And find out for sure they're morons. Need that symbol of escape now and then. And as far as that lithe young thing, give her time. Or to really speed things along, marry her, and then it'll be 10 pounds a year minimum. Yeah, for better or for worse, the flip side of that little phrase that's good for another 50 pounds at least. Who cares? What difference does it make now? Just more domestic trivia anyway. Every turn of the road is just more of the same. First it's the plumbing, and then it's the roof. Overcharge you at the hardware store, and you gotta go back. Order spruce from the lumberyard, and they send you pine. And when does it stop, Lord? Yeah, even then they give you static. Creeps say, you saw it, and you say, you told me it was spruce, and I told you what I wanted, and you said you'd send me spruce, and instead you send me pine, and now you're acting like it's my fault? Like I should even be caught up in this crap. I mean, I wasn't meant for this, arguing over spruce and pine, Lord. I was supposed to be setting the world on fire, or at least telling him about something of a little more significance than spruce and pine. I mean, it's true. Nuclear destruction, mass starvation, worldwide pollution, global wars, suffering like man has never seen. And I'm caught up in this trap of spruce versus pine. And the worst part of it is you can't just irresponsibly drop it. Man, I hate that kind of predicament. The world's going to hell in every way, and I gotta worry about whether I got spruce or pine. I don't believe it. I'm arguing over spruce or pine. The world's going to hell, we're on the eve of mass destruction, and I'm worried about spruce and pine. I don't believe it. I wanted to disturb the universe. Repent or perish, I used to tell him. Don't you remember? Oh, don't you see what's happening? Acid rain's ruining the wilderness. Oxygen-producing rainforests are being systematically decimated. The communists are taking over the world. Next thing you know, all we'll have beaten between us and certain destruction is Mexico, which sure gives me a lot of comfort. The Middle East will only get worse. The oil's going to run out. We're all going to move in on it sooner or later. Someone's going to drop the bomb sooner or later, even if it is some peon little country. The bomb's the bomb. What difference does it make who? And if I really took care of your business, Lord, you'd take care of the rest. You always have, so why do I worry about the small stuff? I mean, the world's dying, and what am I doing about it? 10, 15 years, what am I going to be doing? My kids will be growing up, the world will be the worst mess, the planet will be used up, we'll be out of oil, out of food, out of fit water to drink, even air, let alone fit air. And if the rainforests of South America go, we lose 1/3 of the world's oxygen, and oh yes, repent or perish, I used to tell him. And I used to be so impassioned they'd listen for that alone, even if they didn't know what I was talking about, as I screamed it out with a passion that had no restraint, a mind that never slept, a heart that was on fire, as I pulled into the school parking lot, yeah. A heart that was on fire. Yeah, and now it's being put out by pine and spruce. Now it's being put out by pine and spruce, yeah. To be continued. The Confessions of St. Augustine. Now available on Amazon.com.